Hello, Internet! My name is Catherine Barsonistis, and you are watching The Gluttonous Geek Presents Munchies and Minis, a live cooking show. Well, not so live this particular week because I've just recently got a new router and time during the pandemic has been awful. But as you can tell, my mouth does not match up with my lip movements because, well, when I recorded this is a pre-recorded episode, the sound just apparently on my microphone got distorted. I had lost signal. It was horrible. So, let's just get on with it. I do apologize. Focus more on what I'm saying I'm doing than what my mouth is appearing to say. Today's recipe, or this video's recipe, is from the fairly new tabletop role-playing game called Tiny Taverns. It's done by the Tiny D6 system, where you can basically play the staff and owners of a fantasy-style medieval tavern. Whether that's, the owner, the servers, the brewers, basically whatever you want to do, it's basically there. It's easy rules. It's more of a it's a very rules light system, and I'm very happy that I backed it on Kickstarter. I just need to find the time and people to play it with. Today's recipe, though, is from said book. It's for cave slime compote, which described as sweet and sour cave slime is dissolved in boiling water, honey, and syrupy reduced wine. Then chopped fruit, such as pears or gooseberries, are stewed in the mixture with spices such as vanilla, cinnamon, and clove. Gourmet versions may include mint or rose water, and is either served warm with a thin slice of cheese or chilled with a dollop of whipped heavy cream. As you can imagine, we're going to go for the cold version, especially since we are working with gelatin. We are going to be making a wine-based, I want to say, gelatin parfait with honey and spice cooked pears. Um, on the top layer, made with Sauvignon Blanc because gooseberries are not easy to find in American grocery stores. Sauvignon Blanc tastes a lot like gooseberries, apparently. It's got those kind of aromas associated with it. That's the wine we're going to be using, and the bottom layer will be a strawberry gelatin. Okay, we're going to be going with the name brands here just because they're easier to work with. Gelatin mixed with red wine as well as some mint extract to give it that kind of minty flavor. Figured it would work nicely with the combination of spices and fruit we have going. And as soon as I figure out what the heck I'm describing here, I'm probably just describing the rest of the ingredient. Typical ingredients include chopped cave slime, honey, wine syrup, various chopped fruits, various dessert spices, and the book describes it as a charming and elegant dish, bestowing a beguiling air to any soiree. Eating this dish grants a charming enchantment on the diner. Those who eat this dish attempt their next charm test with focus. This lasts until the consumer is hungry again. So that is about all I have explained for this, all that's in the book for this recipe. I'm going to go ahead and click out of it so we can focus on the recipe itself, and I think that's probably where I'm at right now. So looking at the video, I would say that we're about to get cooking. Am I? What about that past me? Okay, past me. Going to the refrigerator to get something. I'm not sure exactly what. We will see in a second. Oh, yes. Not the refrigerator, but apparently left on the other side of the room. We are working with Jello. We're working with strawberry gelatin as well as the Knox unflavored gelatin packets. So that's what you're going to want to use. No, it's not vegan or vegetarian unless you really want to make it vegan or vegetarian. Is there such a thing as vegetarian? I don't know. Anyway, here I am explaining the using a Sauvignon Blanc wine for this gelatin. You're going to need the whole bottle of this wine, the 750 milliliter bottle of Sauvignon Blanc. Preferably find one that's not going to break your bank because, for one, we're cooking with it, and two, we're cooking with it. So Yeah, Sauvignon Blanc with some kind of, on the description on the back, make sure that gooseberries are listed, because that is the general flavor we want associated with this dish. So, gooseberry scented Sauvignon Blanc. Read the back, it'll show you the flavors. Why am I still talking? But yes, that whole 750 milliliter bottle, I discovered you will need it. So, um, there we are, our strawberry jello. You're going to want a 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin. You're going to want peppermint extract, and you're going to want vanilla extract as well as honey. Did I already mention that? You will see in about a second as I ramble about something. Okay, that looks like I'm showing off my cinnamon and ground cinnamon and ground clove. And did I mention the honey already? Oh wait, no, we're looking at the instructions on the package for the gelatin. I'm probably talking about how I'm using Jell-O, but it's Jell-O, it's cheap, and Kroger doesn't really seem to have a strawberry gelatin um, package in stock. So what you're going to need is that you want to bring a cup of water as I'm getting to put my saucepan to a boil. In the saucepan, I'm putting it on, it looks like medium heat right now. Medium flame. Either way, you just want to make sure that it gets to a boil, which when it's only 1 cup in a pan, it really shouldn't take you all that long. And while I am waiting for the water to boil, this is where we're going to start making up the cold mix of our gelatin. So you're going to want to bring, you want to take another measuring cup. That one, it just had water in it, and then you want to pour a cup of wine into that measuring cup right there. And to that, you'll be adding a 1/4 teaspoon of peppermint extract. Once I close my bottle of wine there. So, got my measuring spoons. Yep, peppermint extract, about a 1/4 teaspoon. Yes, it will be minty, but that's okay. I mean, actually, considering that it's all layered and pretty on this dessert, you're actually going to want to like smash this all up together um, before you eat it to have all the flavors mingle in with each other. This is what I learned after making it. So yeah, you have your cold mix there, and then we are going to get another measuring cup, a larger one, about, oh goodness, I want to say I think that's my 4 cup. No, that's a 2-cup measuring cup. It'll be fine. It's only about 2 cups of stuff. The reason why I say another measuring cup is so it'll be easier to pour and distribute between our glasses. So as I'm waiting for that to come to a boil, it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm just going to get that gelatin mix out. Once again, like I said, 3-ounce package of strawberry gelatin. And all right. I'm talking about you want about 4 16-ounce beer glasses. I mean, if you can, find ones with that cute little stem. I know I've been trying to find them at IKEA for years because they went out of stock. If you can find them, use them. They look great. If not, a pint glass, a standard pint glass will do well and is also very thematic towards our recipe. So, you see that measuring cup I've got going there? It's just sitting, it's going to show you that first I want to whisk in you're going to get the strawberry gelatin? You're going to get that? I'm talking to past me. Hi, past me. Right, pour the cold mixture of the wine and peppermint extract into that large measuring cup right there, just so you're not going to break your measuring cup when you pour in the hot mixture. Also, that's well, the instructions of how to make gelatin. So there you go. And I think oh, looks like some kind of dried spice leaf got into my measuring cup. Okay, still waiting for water to boil. And there's our gelatin mixture. You want to pour that stuff in there and whisk to dissolve. I know, basic kid stuff, right? But, some people don't really realize that. I don't know who those people are, but you never know. So there we go. Hot strawberry jello mixture. And now you're just going to pour all of that into your cold mix while fogging up the camera. You'll want to clean out your saucepan so you don't have to use another one when you make your next round, well, the next layer of this. So, you've got about 2 cups of liquid in this measuring cup by now. Just whisk the crap out of it. Get it all good and dissolved. And then, like I said, make sure the whisk and pan are cleaned off because you're going to need them later. Go ahead and distribute. Well, I'm pouring it into a more manageable measuring cup, as you can see. And also to kind of distribute it so I have about a half a cup of liquid in each glass to start out, just to make sure that I have properly distributed layers so it's all consistent. I just find it's a lot easier to work with measuring cups with spouts so I don't have the mess going, well, everywhere. And there's number 2. Number 3. And number 4. If you have a little bit left over, it's okay to just kind of distribute it between the glasses. But you don't want too little in each, so I'm just kind of taking a look to see if I'd gotten the measurements right here. It's a lot easier to see when it's at eye level. So then just kind of distribute as you go between the cups to get the layers at an even level. There we go. Okay, so at this point, your first layer is made. So now we just need to put it in the refrigerator to set. And that is also why I did not do this recipe live, because I would have had to make, well, 2 rounds of this, which, well, hey, don't get me wrong, I love a boozy treat. It's expensive to make boozy treats. So, yeah, that's also why I pre-recorded, despite the fact that I think I now have a new router. No, I didn't have a new router at that point. That was why it's actually perfect timing to do it at this point. So, yes, there we go. You are now putting these glasses into the refrigerator for at least 2 hours to set them so we can pour on the next layer. We'll make and then pour on the next layer. So 2 and 3. And if you're worried about contamination, I mean, it's only going to be in the fridge for about 2 hours. I mean, if you want, you can cover each glass with plastic wrap. I think that it solidifies the Jello. Um, it takes longer to solidify if you do that, as well as tends to kind of create condensation from all the heated gelatin you have in there. So then you have moisture dropping on top of it, and I just don't really like it that much. But as long as you're just, starting on the next layer no more than 4 hours afterwards, then you're golden. But yeah, I think that's about as much as we're going to cover in that particular round. The next clip should have me speaking in, well, it should have the sound proper again. So thank you so much for putting up with the first, 20 minutes of this episode without music and in sync audio. You are a real gem. You are the gem. I appreciate you. Okay, and we're back. We've had about 2 hours, a little bit over, on our gelatin 2 set for our first layer. Here, I can show you real quick. It might still be a little wobbly, a little wobblier than you like, but that is perfectly okay because we are still going to be taking a little bit of time on the next step of our process. So what you're going to want to do next, is prepare the pears. Chopped pears that we're going to put into our parfait or compote or whatever it happens to be, however you decide to pronounce it. So I've got about 3, what kind of pears are these? I think they're Bartlett's. There's a sticker on one of these. It is a gaucho pear? I don't believe that. These should be about Bartlett pears. I would recommend either that or Bosc pears. It really just depends on what you happen to have on sale or at your grocery store. So what we're first going to do with this is give this good peeling, and if my kitchen looks a little messier than last time, it's because I've been doing a little bit of cooking while I've been waiting. So yeah, tomorrow's my boss's birthday, so since we have a lot of cherries and they've been sitting around for a while, best way to work with fruit that's not really quite crisp enough to put in a salad, but still is good fruit, make it into a crumble. I mean, honestly, ugly fruit makes great crumbles. So just make sure it's not moldy, because that's not good. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and peel this pear as best as I could. Notice how I'm kind of doing sort of a sawing motion to get a cleaner slice while rotating the pear to reduce the number of times I have to dig in. Isn't that fun? There we go. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be peeled. So. So you're going to want a total of 2 cups of diced pear. So not 2 cups, 1 cup. Sorry, I'm still working on my crumble recipe. So yeah, you want a cup of chopped pear. So we're going to peel and chop this one first to see how much it'll yield us. There we are. That's our peel. So now it's time to dice. So the easiest way to do this is to slice off the bottom, just a thin layer to make sure that it stands up straight and stably. And I'm just going to slice down the middle, create another stable platform, and then start making about 1/2 inch thick planks. looks like we didn't get the seed portion of the core, so don't have to worry about cutting the core out. So I'm just now gonna slice those into 1/2-inch planks. And then cube it into 1/2-inch dice. Just move my mouse real quick here. And just do the same with the rest of our pear. So the crumble I've been working on today is a mix of cherry and apple with brown sugar and bourbon. And crumble is super easy. All you really have to do is about diced up fruit with butter, oat, and flour brown sugar crust. I can show you in a minute. Or I might just have it as part of my Plague Diaries recipes, which I admit I haven't really started doing, but I am super tempted to. I think we're going to only need about 2 pears worth on this. As you can see, I got to cut the core out, discard that. We're almost out of cup. I might actually do 1.5 cups, depending. Simply because it's going to cook down. There's just this piece left to cut up. Alright, that is roughly a cup of diced pear. I'm tempted to do more, actually. And you know, if it ends up being too much, then so be it. So. So, as you could probably have told from, well, the audio starting to crap out at this point. Yeah, the audio crapped out again, and I am now just realizing this after recording the first part of audio. I do apologize, guys. I don't know what was going on with my microphone on this particular, or even the audio for that matter. I don't know if it's Streamlabs, I'll figure it out. But as you can tell, I am peeling another pear. I am glad that I got most of the cutting before we had gotten to this point. So, yeah, I am trying to spare you from listening to that god-awful rattle that has been happening pretty much to the end of this part of the clip. I am really annoyed, but, you know, life is life, and we will deal with this. We shall overcome! So, yes, pear. Peel that sucker. Cut that sucker. You get how it is. Slice into planks. Slicing, slicing, slicing. Remove the core by slicing again and taking little pieces where you can. Oh, look at that. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. If I sound really annoyed at this point, it kind of is. But, um, I am doing this. I am re-recording the sound. I recorded this video back in June. So any uh, particular things I say that seem outdated at this point during the pandemic slash apocalypse, that's why. Um, you ever get something project just large enough, especially after doing so much work to begin with, that you're just going, I just don't want to. No, I don't want to fix it. Well, that's basically happened, but how we fix that? Well, we go back and we fix it. So here we are. Um, Dicing, slicing more pears. Uh, in hindsight, um, and I will go this over this probably in the last clip of the video, um, and I will repeat this, you will use the whole bottle of wine. I will bring this up again when we get to that point of this part of the video. So here we are editing this video, with my cat saying hello, um, on July 22nd, when this was in fact filmed, June 15th. That's how far behind we are. Uh, Lots happened since then, and nothing's happened since then. We had a bit of a COVID scare, which turns out we were testing negative, so hey, that's great. Funnily enough, I got my results on my birthday, so it's like, happy birthday, you don't have the plague. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not having the plague on my birthday. I am not okay with not seeing my friends anymore, but we will overcome, just like the whole audio incident. We will overcome the plague. The plague sucks. Hashtag the plague sucks. So, now that I've put my pears away, we can actually get back to this darn recipe here. As you can tell, um, we are now melting the honey, of which there is how much honey? Uh, Half a cup of honey. We are melting half a cup of honey into our saucepan that we cleaned earlier. You want to get that to liquefy some so it takes all of our other ingredients well. Then I am going to stir in our spices. So you're going to want a 1/4 teaspoon of ground, that looks like cinnamon, ground cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of, let's see, just to make sure the colors are right. Yes, that was that cinnamon. Well, either way, it's ground cinnamon and ground clove, a 1/4 teaspoon of it each. Just gonna whisk that in with another 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So, just gonna get the whisk wherever it went. Whisk, 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 whisk. And there you go. Your wire whisk. Make sure that is all good and blended so you don't get any clumps of spices. Alright, once it is runny, which it's getting there, that's looking good, you will stir in all of your pear, which you may want to switch to a spatula at some point, considering that solids like pears don't really whisk all that well. I think that's what I'm doing right now. It's a clean spatula. And you're just going to stir that to coat. Get the pear in there. And then you pour in a 1/2 cup of your Sauvignon Blanc. We're just going to use the same measuring cup to also get some of that excess honey out of there. There we go. And try not to whack your webcam in the process. So now we've got our wine in there. Just making sure I'm still recording here. Just stir that up, get that all good and mixed, and bring it to a simmer. So I think I just have that on some medium heat to heat that up. And in the meantime, you're going to want to pour in, let's see here, well, the remaining wine, really. You're going to pour the remaining wine. I know that I say about, well, honestly, since you can't hear this part, I said about a half a cup at this point, but no, I discovered later on you actually need the remaining wine to be able to fill the glasses. I was erring on the side of caution because I wasn't sure of the volume of these glasses, but no, we are just going to pour in what's left into that measuring cup. It should still be cold, and at this point, I'm trying to get the remainder of the honey in there, you want to take a quarter-ounce packet of your clear gel, of your uh, plain gelatin powder. Now, granted, when you get the box of gelatin, it'll come with little multiple packets. One of the packets should be about a quarter of an ounce. That is really all you need. That's what I'm putting in right now. Yep, still waiting on you to stop explaining and whisk that gelatin in past me. I promise you the next video's sound is clean and clear and you don't have me having to narrate my own videos. So, okay. What was I doing? Waiting for it to come to a simmer. It's at a simmer. Oh, right, I know what it is. I was looking at my instructions, and thing is, I did actually, when I rewrote this recipe, what am I doing? What am I doing? Did I whisk in the... I am doing this wrong. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing right here. I know I put the gelatin in the hot mix. What you... Okay. Actually, no. Like I said, I was completely wrong there. You're whisking the gelatin into the hot mix. Preferably at this point, you will have taken the pears out. That's okay. Um, with a slotted spoon, which you'll see me do in a bit, but a little bit of amendment, you'll want to remove the pears with a slotted spoon to a different cup before you whisk in the gelatin into the hot mix. And this just distributes it a bit better. You want to do this for about a minute. Which, as you can see, I'm doing for about 60 seconds. Also, if your measuring cup happens to be a little smaller, you don't have to worry about volume so much. But as you can see, it doesn't really whisk all that well with the pears. I thought it would. I was wrong. So, like I said, amendment to this, remove those pears with a slotted spoon before whisking any gelatin powder in. And yeah, now I finally got the bright idea to take the pears out. Because you're going to want to distribute them between the cups, and it's also a little easier to do when you're not having to worry about solids pouring out at the same time as liquid. I mean, anyone who's poured a pitcher of iced lemonade knows that particular pain of having the glass ending up full of ice while everyone else's glass gets liquid. So there we are. Just making sure that I don't have any more pears. Okay, so now you're just going to want to distribute the pears between the cups. Um, I have this weird idea when I did this video of I was going to try to do like multiple layers, but turns out the mixture makes the pears float either way. So just go ahead and distribute the pears. What the heck am I looking up at that point? I have no idea. I think it was math to try to figure out the how much to pour into each cup. Honestly, don't remember that measurement. It's okay. I think it might have been a half cup. I am not entirely sure on that. Start out with a half cup and then just, like, distribute among the glasses, like I said earlier. Okay. So yeah, like I said here, I kind of got the strange, bright idea to pour a little bit first and then layer it. Like I said, I was wrong. Apologies for being wrong. The best and worst of us are wrong. So, pouring a little bit. And adding pears. They float. But, you know, what the heck. I've already committed to this bit. So, pour, pour, pour. Put way too much effort into this. Pour, pour, pour. Layer with pears. Can't remember if I gave up at this point to try to be that precise. Maybe? I mean, I guess it's only 4 glasses. It's not that much effort. And then the last one, when I realized that, do I really need to worry about this? I guess I don't. I mean, this is also where I'll admit that even though, yes, I do develop the recipes before I film them, I'm also developing them further as I'm making them because sometimes um, it doesn't always quite work out the way I want it to. So then I just kind of have to fix it so it does. And then revise what I'd originally come up with because it turns out that it needs revision. So this is one of those times. And this is also where I'm realizing that, yeah, I could have totally used what was left of that bottle of wine. I know I keep emphasizing this in the after in hindsight, but it's true. It's very true. So, yes, there they are. They are done. See, I had a lot more room at the top, but yeah, at this point, you will need to put the compote in the refrigerator. I want to say at least 4 hours, but I found that when I did the setting overnight, it actually made it much more firm, especially to put whipped cream on, as well as it gives all the gelatin a relatively similar consistency, so the flavors blend well when you happen to smash it all up. So, You can go 4 hours, you can go overnight. Either way, this is delicious, and you'll see in the next clip some of the amendments that I probably already listed off, but yeah, it'd be good to hear a voice with music behind it, wouldn't it? So I'm gonna be stopping this recording now, and as my past me cleans up the kitchen, and I will get to talk to you. Well, past me will get to talk to you in about a few seconds. So cheers. Okay, folks, we're back, and obviously it's been quite a bit since we've, well, made our cave slime compote. Yeah, it took me a little while to get my kitchen back all set up to do recording again, but photos are taken. It turned out amazing, and that's also why I wanted to record the last little bit to this recipe, especially for those who aren't currently a part of my Patreon community and can look up the recipe card whenever they feel like it. So for this recipe, you're going to have to keep a few things in mind and a little bit of an addendum, stuff I learned while making it. First is that you're going to need that entire 750 milliliter bottle of Zinfandel for this recipe, for all four of those four of those consomme parfait thingies. You will be using the remainder of the cold Zinfandel poured into the gelatin on that last bit mixed in with the pears. So just keep in mind, heat up the amount that I told you to heat up, but mix in the remaining wine and you'll have enough liquid to fill up the rest of your parfaits. Another note on chilling these. You're going to want to chill these for about 4 hours after on the second layer to overnight. That way the pears and gelatin is solid enough for you to kind of have that nice, really double layer look and not have the whipped cream sink through when you top it. And whipped cream is essential because the mint in the strawberry layer can be a little overpowering, but the trick to balancing it all out is that as you're eating it, you just need to stab in with your spoon and mix that whole mess up. The pear mix, the wine gelatin, the strawberry mint gelatin, as well as the whipped cream that you topped it with. The way that it looks is for presentation, but the way to eat it is to mix that whole bit up and the flavors balance perfectly. So, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Munchies and Minis. I hope that you do check out the game Tiny Taverns. I know that it's already open to the public, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am looking forward to getting a group together to start playing it soon. In the meantime, why don't you make yourself some nice boozy desserts to share with your household, or just kind of make up, chill up, and pass out to your friend group before playing over a Zoom call. So, once again, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Munchies and Minis. My name is Catherine Barson, also known as the Gluttonous Geek, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, or until wonderful rest of this episode, which is only going to be a few seconds. And in this crazy times, may you stay safe, stay sane, and stay you. Signing off. Have a great night.